This is Nate G219 to help it back and better. Y'all know what it is. Another one coming at ya. First, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that channel if you want to help out. Alright, today's story is an interview actually. As you see, nobody's sitting here right now, but the interview I did last night, I just had to add a little more, so I'm going to give you a little introduction to the story. A young woman found a video camera, or a cell phone, in the vent of the bathroom that she shared with her daughters and herself. And her daughters at the time were 11 and 13 years old. And the man accused and charged of this is Frederick Orth, I believe 52 years old, Lake Station man. This happened in LaPorte County. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit the video or show you the interview, and then I'm going to talk a little more afterwards. Alright, Nate G219 to help it back and better. Y'all know what it is, another one coming at you. Today is September 6th, and I'm sitting here with a guest today, and her name is Christina. Christina, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? What brings you to me today?
Well, I caught my mom's husband recording my daughters and myself in our bathroom.
Okay, and that's a horrible situation. How old are your daughters?
I have a 14-year-old currently and a 12-year-old. This happened last year in August.
Okay, so
April,
yeah,
April 22nd, 2023.
So there's a little more unfortunate things about this story that we'll get into a little bit later on, but how did you discover that this man was doing what he was doing?
I just got off work, went to go take a shower, got out the shower, went to go put my hair up, and in the bathroom in the vent there was a camera. You can see like the 3 lenses of a camera.
Okay.
So I went and got my stepbrother. We just got off work. I was like, can you tell me what this is? Is this a camera? And he was like, it looks like a camera. So sure enough, we jumped on the toilet, popped the vent down, and we found a camera. And I was like, why is there a camera in the bathroom? And we both didn't realize, like, at first whose phone it was, why there was a phone, until we went on the home screen and we seen a picture of him and his 2 sons. And he was like, that's my dad's phone. And I was like, why the fuck is there a phone? And it was in the middle of recording. Mind you, I just got out the shower. So we kind of like stopped, looked at it, and when I looked back, I seen the video in recording, and when I went back into the home nails, I saw 2 videos where my daughters were in there. And so I went and looked at the videos and seen him putting the phone up in the ceiling, and then like coming down off the toilet, walking out, and not 2 seconds later, my oldest daughter walks into the bathroom to take a shower.
Okay, so were all you guys living together at the same point?
Yeah.
Okay.
I ended up moving in with them.
I mean,
We'd
things
been there.
happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had the front of the house. Me and my daughters were sharing a room. I had my 2 brothers who had 2 rooms up front, and then my mom and her husband had the back of the house, which had a own private bathroom. So there was no reason for him even to be up in the front, let alone have a phone in any kind of bathroom.
Right.
Anthony ended up confronting him. He denied even having a phone in there. He said, "Good night, son," like walked back to his room. And then my mom came to the front and was like, Anthony said you wanted to talk to me, and I was like, yeah, we just found a cell phone in the bathroom. And her initial reaction wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. She literally was just like, she's like, oh, he had it in there to catch his son and his friend. And I was like, no, your granddaughters are on there naked. And she just looked at me and like walked away. So in my head at that time, I thought like she was gonna go back there and confront him, do something. Meantime, I went to my room, was telling the girls to get their stuff, we're leaving right now. Didn't really explain much to them, just that. So as they're doing that, I hear Fred talking to his son, trying to convince him like this isn't that. I started to walk towards the front of the house. The girls got outside. Now I'm at the front door and he stopped me. And he's like, hey, we need to talk. And I was like, there's nothing to talk about. He goes, no, this isn't that. I had it in there to catch, my son and his friend. Your son's 17 years old.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's no reason to phone it. It should be in the bathroom, period. And I was like, what do you mean catch him? He's smoking weed. Because you supply him with it. He's day drinking or drinking, period, because he came home day drunk the other day. He's having sex. I bought him condoms for Christmas. So what are you putting the cell phone in the bathroom for? My daughters are on your phone naked. Are you dumb? And he just sat there and he just said, yeah. I was like, yeah, you're dumb.
So, like, doing a little research about it, I'm sure you started researching things that you weren't aware of prior to this.
After I left that house that night, his ex-wife, who's his second wife, came to me and told me that she wasn't just his second wife or ex-wife. She was, in fact, his stepdaughter. And she had a case back in 98. And it was like a mistrial.
And that's one thing. A lot of people don't understand the mistrial or being found not guilty. If you get a mistrial, you can be charged and pursued again for the crime. And there's no statute of limitations on things like this. What he was charged with, what I saw, was an A felony, which was 20 to 50 years. And still, to this day, there should be enough evidence now.
Yeah.
To definitely
That's
have...
what I was definitely trying to put out there, was that's definitely a pattern.
It is. And I'm not going to ever defend anybody that's attracted to a child. They're attracted to a child. They're wired wrong, and there's no place on earth for them except the burning hole in hell. That's as far as I'm concerned. And whether they're 14, 12, 3 like the creep over there, it's a horrible, horrendous thing. And I don't want to get into too much detail because this is still an open case, and we can't just openly accuse somebody of doing something when they're allegedly or they're accused of this, and there's an open case going on. But if you see a pattern and the pattern fits, if it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, it's a duck. And that's just really what I wanted to get out there. And I really appreciate you coming out simply for this. The problem is this man has now, you said this happened last year.
Yeah.
When was he arrested?
This year, a month ago.
Okay, and how long was he in jail for?
Less than a week.
Less than a week, and he bonded out. And how much money did that cost him?
It went from no bond to $10,000 to $2,000.
So $2,000, he walked free. And the last time was a $25,000 bond that was 10%, $2,500, which was fully refunded because the state's lack of evidence, whatever the reason. I've tried to contact people, which I'm going to continue to try to contact. But if you guys see that creep you see in the thumbnail, hold your kids dear, because he's one of them kitty diddlers that will definitely take advantage.
Yeah.
And you obviously had no clue or inkling that this man was, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
They come in so many different shapes and forms. It's horrifying. Almost seems to me that there's more of them than there is of people with reality.
Yeah, the fact that, I have friends who have been incarcerated over shit that's just really petty, and you have this man who clearly has a pattern and is just out there living across the street from, the Boys and Girls Club of all places.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's
works with teenagers, works with all types of younger people, has them at his house all the time.
Well, maybe this just little 5-10 minutes, whatever, gets it out there. And I am going to tell a little more into the story. I'm going to edit for a couple days, and so I just want to get this out there right. But I wanted to have something brief with you, and I know that we can get more going on the more it goes on. And I'm going to keep on reading. You inform me any new updates, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, my heart goes out to your daughters because, I mean, do they know? No.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. My oldest and I, she's been struggling a lot. She was really close with him. Like, you know, that was Papa.
Yeah.
They went fishing by themselves together. They cooked together. You know, like when she would get upset and I was overwhelmed, my mom would be the one to be like, "Oh, go to Papa. Like he'll take care of it." So yeah, he was definitely, you know, a father figure for her. Like, you know, a person in her life that she was really close with. And when this happened, like we've had to go to crisis centers. We've been dealing with it like badly with her.
Okay.
So yeah, we're in therapy. We're doing everything we can to help her, but
okay.
it's
And
been a
well,
struggle.
you know what? It's obviously been a struggle, and I'm sure you got a Cash App. I want you to send that to me. I will link it down the bottom of the comments. So if anybody want to help give Christina some help, feel free. If you want to send me it, I'll send it to her. Label it. This is for Christina. It's going right to Christina. She has my word, and she can put me on blast if I do anything other. So, but I mean, that being said, I just wanted to have a brief interview because this is the fresh start of something, and we got to be very careful. We can get ourselves in trouble. We go and say too much until it goes public. We can't go too far and say, hey, this man did this and did that, because right now, unfortunately, he's only charged with a level 4 felony, which faces very, very little time. And that's another bothering thing. I got, you know, a $20 bag of heroin, and I did a middlemaning for a drug addiction, and I got more time than the guy that fiddled 3 toddlers. Like, I served more than 3 years on that.
And unfortunately, that's you know,
it's a fact. And now it seems like the country and a lot of other people are waking up about that. Other than California, it's like, all right, we need to start doing something about this. And there's nothing in the law that states that case from '98 can't be brought back up.
Yeah, I mean, I have several people who, you know more about that, but
right. And hey, feel free to give them my number, and I will always keep confidentiality. They ask me to. It's going to be given unless I'm told otherwise. So
right.
Yeah, you noticed that I wasn't going to give your name if you didn't want me to. But yeah, guys, this is Nate G219. Never forget life's choices, and never be naive to what can happen. I mean, there's creeps everywhere, and if you got kids, just protect them and keep them close. Anything you want to say, Christina?
Just thanks for listening.
And well, thanks for coming, and thank you for sharing. But hey, guys, you know, if they ain't hating it, you ain't making it. All right, so after that interview, guys, tell me what you think. And I do apologize. I meant out of Lake County, Indiana. His original case, the one that the mistrial was on, that was out of LaPorte County. This was Lake Station, Lake County, Indiana. And it's just a disturbing thought. What do you think about the fact that this man 26 years ago was charged and the state didn't pursue the fact that he was facing at that time 20 to 50 years? Now, this level 4 felony, which is the most serious felony, and I'm going to post my case in the description, so if you want to, you can take a look at it yourself and make the decision. Actually, I'll just post what's on my case in the description of the video, or the link. I don't know what's going to be easier. We'll figure that out when the time comes. But this man 26 years ago was tried and then a mistrial. That was his stepdaughter / ex-wife. He had been grooming her from a very young age to become what he wanted. and he did things, and well, allegedly did things. I can't say he did things for sure, but I believe that if the state were to pursue that right now, they would have him convicted of what he was accused of doing back in 1998, especially considering he married and then divorced. And I'm not going to say the name, but the girl has talked to people. If she would like to reach out, I'd love to talk to you, but that's neither here nor there. And the fact that this man said he was putting a videotape in the bathroom to catch his sons drinking, that's, regardless of it being illegal or not, first of all, he contributed to the delinquency of a minor on numerous occasions from what the childhoods were described as. And he, I mean, come on, open your eyes. I'm not talking to my audience. I'm talking to those that could put this man, that could have prevented any other child from being harmed ever, by just pursuing this case. Now, maybe they didn't have enough evidence back then. I don't know. I've not done or been able to obtain all the research. Things back then just weren't on the internet, and finding something from 26 years ago on the internet is so difficult. And it seems like a lot of these cases people don't care about. They just are now coming around to really start. Okay, I'm not saying nobody's cared about. It's coming public now that there's monsters and predators everywhere, and be careful what you do. Be careful who you're around, and research people. Just because there was a mistrial didn't mean he was not found guilty or not guilty. It just meant that there was not enough evidence to find him guilty at that point in time. But there also wasn't enough evidence to say not guilty. Or, yeah. So, you know, I've tried to reach out to some of the jurors I've been able to locate the names of, and hopefully they realize and reach back out to me, because this is a very long time ago. See how they feel. And maybe some of these other victims, I'm sure, are out there. If this man really is the monster that I'm convinced he is. I mean, you heard Christina. She caught him red-handed with a videotape. And, you know, it's not just her daughters that were violated either. Their privacy. I mean, and in this level 4 felony is 2 to 12 years with a presumptive of 6 years. The presumptive means that's the chances of what you'll get is 6 years. Okay, so the fact that he is not a convicted felon means he has no mandatory prison sentence. He doesn't even have to go to prison. And chances are he won't. Chances are he will get probation, treatment classes. He's repairable. He's been attracted to children long ago, and some of his own family apparently had said he violated their children. This was back early mid-90s, maybe even longer before that. I don't know, but I do know that that was a fact. But never forget life's choices, guys. You never know which road that you may take. That wrong turn may be the wrong turn that you never can come back from. And always remember who you keep in your circle. Observe people and look at the bigger picture. And, you know, unfortunately, sometimes you got to do research on people. But unfortunately, Christina didn't feel she needed to. This was her mom's boyfriend. This was Papa. And everybody could find themselves, anybody can find themselves in a similar situation. But hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that channel if you want to help out. And as soon as I get Christina's Cash App, we got to talking last night and didn't get to swap the Cash App information, but it'll be linked into the description or the comments or comments, both maybe. So yeah, probably both. But hey, this is Nate G219 signing out. If they ain't hating it, you ain't making it. Peace.